All right, traders, nice day today in chat. I appreciate the teamwork as always. If there's any new faces in the room and you haven't read this yet, please read it. Real quick description of how we're different, what we do in our room, and just so you understand everything. Pause the video and read it because it's going to disappear now. Some really nice posts in the room today. So let's talk about the SPY real quick first. It gapped up. Look at this intraday. Kind of interesting. Just meandered sideways all day, then did this tank on some 3 o'clock news, and then reversed it again, which just to me feels like this market's super bullish. It's like a honey badger market, just doesn't care, right? All right, so let's talk about it. For those that didn't make it today, or maybe you were there and you didn't understand one of the calls, you know what? I already made a video on Tesla, so you can see that on YouTube, my YouTube channel, or StockTwits or Twitter. I put it out there on both of those, so I won't go into the details here, but we had a real quick, let me just go to 5-minute candles. And again, I'm not going to go into the description, but the entry was right there. Worst case stop right there. And we got like an $8 move in our favor. The only reason I'm not going into details on that is because I already made a video about it. But details on a couple others. Late in the day, I just typed that into the void. It didn't go anywhere. Let me try it again. MULN. I'll zoom in so you can kind of see the big pop today. Late in the day, Kevin P spotted, okay, first of all, it topped out at 518, right? Then later in the day, Kevin P, we noticed the volume together, right? We all noticed that it went up and hit 499, and he said, I hope it flags for a little bit below 5, then I'll take it through 5. And it's kind of exactly, I don't know if you call that a flag, but it consolidated, curled back up. The grab was through 5. Great post by Kevin P. Within 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more, it was at 6. And we had a debate on whether it was 20 or 25 cents risk, but guess what? Didn't matter because neither one of them came close to stopping out as far as where the stop goes. Great way to end the day. And if you happen to be one of those that hung around after hours with me, I said I was going to be around. Let's throw after hours on here. I gave an idea. Somebody asked about ideas in the room when it was like 5 minutes. This great part. Let me zoom in. This great part's the after hours. And as it was doing this, I said I liked it through 6, and they had asked if I liked it through 6, like 5 minutes into the after hour session. My answer was like an hour from now, I like it through 6, right? Because what usually happens is a pretty good lesson on after hours, actually. A lot of times you get a big move like MULN, right? And they continue in after hours, but they don't almost ever continue right after the closing bell. What happens, in my opinion, is everyone who missed this move, and we didn't, thanks to Kevin P, right? Everyone who missed this move thinks, okay, it's going to continue in after hours. They start jumping in, thinking it's going to break 6, and then you get this knife, right? So it almost never, it meaning any strong play that's going to run in after hours, they almost never do it right after the closing bell, right? You get something like this first. Now, it wasn't quite an hour, right? It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, something like that. As it was curling up, though, I was still in the room and typed in, hey, it's not quite an hour, but I'll still take it through 6, right? And it broke 6 and so far went to 639. But I made some nice money in after hours also. So there's kind of hopefully an interesting lesson for you as far as what I look for in after hours. And again, when something's this strong on this kind of volume, you definitely want to watch them in after hours. But, pay attention to what I just said about it. And maybe don't fall for the first one. Or if you take the first move, take it much smaller than maybe you would if it happened a half hour, 45 minutes later, okay? So let's go back to Tesla, look at the daily. I'm just going to go into the stocks I'm watching for tomorrow. There's one of them, big pop today. JANX, very strong. We're going to watch that one. You guys know we look for intraday trades. HWH, felt kind of pumpy today. Two different, like, big Discord room runners. Two Discord room guys that run rooms were both kind of pushing this one. I don't know, but the chart was interesting. I never got involved in it today, but it's a little bit interesting now because all-time highs 333, and today barely broke 3. So tomorrow or any day this week, we get through 3. We know we've got a potential catalyst right there and right there above. So to me, even though it was kind of getting pumped, it's still worth watching tomorrow. ALCC, big pop today, closing off its highs, but it goes on the list. RILY, extended for sure, but you have a couple equal highs here. No, that's not true. 40.09 yesterday, 40.06 today. But anyway, back through 40 may be interesting, even though just remember that daily is extended. BOF also topped out at almost the whole number 3. It's definitely a recent high flyer. It's also kind of a squinky trader, so be careful with it if you trade it. CZOO, speaking of squinky traders, this is definitely one. Had a really nice 2-day run here on big volume, and it's definitely putting in a lower volume flag. So I do think it still deserves to be on our radar. NIVF, this one topped today at 223 and Friday at 239. So potential stat catalyst scenario tomorrow. Remember those numbers. AGBA. It's just kind of coiling here. I don't love it, but I'm going to watch it. Had a big move before this coil. Already talked about MULN. Definitely want to watch that one tomorrow. ZIM. Just a quiet day after that big rip yesterday. So that one makes the list. ZURA. This is the 2-day high I was thinking of. Topped out on Friday at 485 and again today at 485. So it's certainly interesting over that area. Also a little bit extended though, so keep that in mind. DXYZ, still the only bounce play. It's a weird chart, but had a huge move back here and it's kind of 4 red days in a row and doesn't look like a big sell-off, but it went from 31.71 right here down to whatever, 17.25. That's a pretty good 4-day drop. And if you research this, it's also kind of an interesting story. So that does make me want to watch it. Couple more. PARA. I'm not sure. Let's see. 12.25. I was going to put this on the gap playlist because it hit 13 and after hours. But now it's back down to 12.25-ish. So basically flat. I'm pulling it off the list. If it's gapping in the morning, we'll put it back on the list. And then lastly, then MRIN. Which is a former high flyer, somewhat recent high flyer, closed at 261. Right now it's trading at 370 in after hours, and they did have a headline, so it's all the way up here, and a recent runner, so certainly a potential gapper in the morning. As always, we'll add other gappers in the pre-market together like we always do. Maybe catch some trades in the pre-market, but they haven't been setting up real great lately. We'll see what happens. That's it for me. Great job. Love the teamwork in chat, and I'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning.